Hello, my friends. My name is Gerdes, and I am just a professor trying to provide context so that you can see things more clearly as you're searching for news about the war in Ukraine. So I want to start here with this, the losses. The losses, only 640 Russians off the battlefield. And that seems high for some days, but compared to recent months, that's fairly low. Doesn't mean the war is not hot. Doesn't mean that the folks on the front line aren't still experiencing quite a significant pushback from Russia. They really are. Greg Terry, if you watch his channel, will talk about this all the time. He's really connected and in the know. That's at Greg Terry Experience. So I'm not going to be talking about that so much. My interest was here. Warships and boats. I was expecting 26 to say +2. Well, it's not even saying that, and here's part of why. Russian landing ship critically damaged by Ukraine missile strike, says military intelligence. Okay, ship singular and critically damaged, not sunk. What are we talking about? In a post on Telegram, the agency said the Yamal, remember there was the Yamal and the Azov that were supposed to have been hit by Ukrainian strikes, not overnight, but the previous day. A hole in the upper deck that caused it to roll to the starboard side. Okay, so that's a pretty good thing for that one. The occupiers continuously pump out water from the affected ship. Other details about the losses of the aggressor as a result of the missile attack of the security defense forces of Ukraine against military facilities of Russia terror are being clarified. So who knows how extensive the damage is. It doesn't sound like it's a lot of damage for the Azov. The Yamal has a crew of 98 crew members. 33% of the fleet's warships have been disabled, including 24 ships and 1 submarine. Now, yesterday I said there's really no way to replenish losses for Russia in the Black Sea because they can only go through Istanbul through the Bosphorus Strait. And that's not technically true. A keen-eyed viewer sent me this, and NATO's Black Sea frontier is the southern shore of the Caspian Sea. So what they actually can do is get those ships that are in the Caspian Sea up through the Volga River and then down through a canal. But the canal, I would think, would be somewhat vulnerable to being attacked at multiple points. So I stand corrected. Thank you for your eagle-eyed view, and I appreciate you correcting me. Ukraine's DTEK loses 50% of generating capacity. So Russia has been targeting energy infrastructure, and it's been taking a serious toll on Ukraine's ability to function. DTEK 50% capacity because of these strikes. Just in the last week or so, it's really weakened the system. Overnight drone strikes. Moscow keeps up assault on Ukraine's energy grid. Here are just a couple things. In Kyiv, more than 1 million civilians are without power. In Kharkiv, some 200,000 people were without power. And so that's what they keep doing. How did they keep doing it? Over the week, from Monday to this day, Russian terrorists have used, quote, almost 190 missiles of various types and almost 140 Shahed drones and almost 700 guided bombs. So that's what Russia's been doing to Ukraine over the last week. It's astounding. Now, with that being said, I saw this from Anton Gershchenko and I thought, wow, that's really something. Friends, I'd like to ask you what your media have been saying about Ukraine recently. Not a lot. Like if I turn on major news, there's not a lot about Ukraine. Have they covered the 3 massive Russian missile strikes in Ukraine lived through in a week? I know that many Western media, the Crocus City Hall tragedy, has taken up the front pages, and I'm sure this event will have long-lasting repercussions in many areas, which is why I posted a lot about it as well. But civilians in Ukraine suffer from Russia every day in great numbers. Now, he's absolutely right. It's overshadowed. It's almost forgotten in mainstream news. And that's why YouTubers are trying to pick up the slack and provide you this information. Okay, finally, we'll have this. Alex Jones said, I believe Ukraine and NATO because they never lie. I think they told the truth when they said Putin blew up Nord Stream pipeline. I also believe in a tooth fairy. Okay, well, I mean, if he believes in the tooth fairy, that tells us a lot about what he actually believes. So I'm going to take him at his word, on the face of this. Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and the coffees. And thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.